me a little teary-eyed.
Say it again, Kenny.
Super.
Say
I
it
see you
again,
here. I'm
Kenny.
talking
I'm
about
knock
you.
you out.
Super. I'm talking about you in the building, not him. Not him.
Yeah.
Shaq, it was very nice and gracious, the things he said, though.
Yeah, look, I'm happy for Dwight. His family and my family have been close. I jumped on him a lot. He thought it was personal. We had a conversation. I was just letting him know. I was trying to get him upset. I wanted him to play at a certain level. I'm happy for him. My condolences go to him for his terrible loss. He's able to spend time with his 6-year-old son in the bubble. So I wish him well. I want him to, win this championship. There's a lot of talk of him being a Hall of Famer. I agree with that, and I'm glad he's playing well. He reminds me of my 4th championship. It was a guy that really helped me get my 4th championship. Of course, you talk about myself and D. Wade and Posey, but Alonzo Mourning had the same attitude. Really didn't play a lot, but in the finals, when I wasn't the Shaq that you used to see in the finals, Alonzo put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Big dog, I got you and I'll take care of it." And he came in and, those last couple games, when we were down 0-2, Alonzo Mourning played like, when he was in Charlotte. So I'm happy for Dwight. I'm happy for the Lakers. But I think this series is far from over.
I love that. Okay, Isaiah Thomas, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the play of LeBron James. You heard Jared Greenberg say he was just 1 assist away from yet another triple-double. It seems like it never gets old with this man.
The Lakers as a family and as a tradition have been so fortunate. Arguably they've had the 6 most dominant players in terms of duos in the history of the game. I mean, when you talk about Shaq and Kobe, then you look at Kareem and Magic, and now you're looking at LeBron and Anthony Davis. Those duos, they're the greatest of all time, and arguably they will argue with each other, which is 1, 2, and 3. But it's all the Laker family. And, what LeBron James is doing and has done, and I've said this before, and, I think we've watching, and when he's all said and done, he will have every statistical record. And, Kareem, holds the scoring record and also the Laker rebounding record. And I think, LeBron passed him tonight on the Laker rebounding record. So he's touching every statistical category. And, there just haven't been another player that I've seen in my lifetime like LeBron James, who's able to do it all and touch every single box of the game. And all the Lakers, they can debate which duo is the best. And, Kenny and I we have to take a seat on the sideline and let them decide which duo is the best. But I know Shaq and Kobe, they're the most dominant for sure. Magic, Kareem, but now you're looking at Davis and James, 6 unbelievable talents and, 3 unbelievable duos, all in the same franchise.
Absolutely.
And you left out Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
My bad. Right?
Well, Isaiah, since you asked the question, I'm going to go and answer it for you. Me and Kobe's number 1. Magic and Kareem is number 2. Then LeBron and AD, then Jerry and Wilt.
Thank you for clearing that up. I wasn't sure which way you were going to go with that one, Shaq. I wasn't clear at all.
Yeah, okay.
Kenny, let's talk a little bit about the Heat, okay? Kendrick Nunn. He was spectacular during his rookie season, during the regular season. He never guess who we have along for the ride. We have a cast of thousands nearly. Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Isaiah Thomas, and Jared Greenberg and Steve Smith are inside the bubble in Orlando. Shaq, we're going to start with you first because we just saw you and D. Wade with your bet. I see all of your bling in front of you, presenting very well. What are your expectations for this matchup? You're familiar with both franchises.
Yes, I'm very familiar with both franchises. And as a basketball fan, as a guy that hasn't played basketball in over 10 some odd years, I just want to see great basketball. I'm aligned with both franchises. Both franchises gave me the ability to play, utilize my talent, and win championships. So I'm going to bow out in making predictions on this one. I just want to see good basketball. I actually know it's going to be good basketball. And in a perfect world, this goes to 7 games, and then the last game be one of the most memorable games in NBA history. There's a lot of, advantages and disadvantages for both sides, but, listen, I have my jersey retired in LA, in Miami, and I just did that piece because they asked me to do it for the job. But look, as a basketball fan / analyst, I just want to see some great basketball, and good luck to the Miami Heat organization and good luck to the LA organization. But I'm going to pass to my good friend Isaiah, who has no alliances with either Miami and LA, so I'm going to allow Isaiah Thomas to answer the question for me on who he thinks is going to win this championship. But like I said, in a perfect world, I would love to see this go 7. What you think, Zeke?
I think it goes maybe 5, but I think your Lakers, and you have Laker, Miami, all of y'all have the same culture, so it really doesn't matter who wins. But let's just say this: the traditional Laker culture will win the championship because the Laker culture is in the Miami Heat, and so are you, Shaq. I mean, you in LA and Miami, so you win either way it goes.
Okay, and Kenny, we're gonna get to you shortly, so don't get too excited. Hold on. We want to get to this role because we want to show you guys all of the things that LeBron James has done in the finals. We know that it's been spectacular, starting back to his first appearance in the finals in 2007. A young pup, the age of 22, Spurs swept. Then in 2011, his first season with the Heat ended with the finals loss in Game 6 to the Dallas Mavericks. On to 12 and 13, won his first title in 2012, defeating OKC. And then in 2014, the Spurs got revenge, downing LeBron James. 2015, the Warriors defeat the Cavs 4-2. And then moving on to 2016, LeBron James and the Cavs had an amazing comeback from a 3-1 deficit against the Warriors. And then 17 and 18, Steph and KD took down LeBron's Cavs in back-to-back years. LeBron James has no extra motivation, he says, in playing his former team. Let's listen.
There's no extra meaning to winning a championship, no matter who you're playing against. It's already hard enough to even reach the finals, to be in this position. So if you're able to become victorious out of the finals, it doesn't matter who it's against. It's probably been the most challenging thing I've ever done as far as a professional. I would be lying if I sat up here and knew that everything inside the bubble, what it would, the toll that it would take on your mind and your body and everything else. I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to compete for a championship. I've been as locked in as I've ever been in my career.
Okay, you heard him talk about the mental toll, so that leads us right inside the bubble. Jerry Greenberg, Steve Smith, I remember doing my time down there in Orlando. It is a struggle to survive mentally and continue to work. So, to you, gentlemen, what say you about life inside the bubble?
Well, Stephanie, you know this, how different it all is down here. We know it's a new normal. You've heard all the cliches, but I just want to put it in perspective for people. At last year's NBA Finals between the Warriors and Raptors, the NBA issued more than 1,500 media credentials, 1,500. In what we call the green zone here, where Smitty and I have all access to the court, they've only allotted 30 media credentials. So it is a different world here. And here's what's also different about LeBron and his team. It's rare in the NBA Finals, his 10th trip, that he is a favorite to win the championship. In fact, those in Vegas believe LeBron is a very heavy favorite. He's only lost as the favorite once. That was back in 2011 against the Dallas Mavericks. How much is on the line for LeBron against the Miami Heat?
Well, I think, Jared, you kind of summed it up best. Let's back up and talk about the mental toughness of being in this bubble. There's no fans. Like you said, there's no crowd. So whether it's the opposing crowd or your home crowd to get you up, and even great players love to go on the road and get those victories. That's when they shine the most. So the mental toughness for LeBron James has to be at an all-time high. Then we go to the physical. When you start to see the way he's playing at such an unbelievable level, and then I'm going to look at his numbers. What he's averaging in this playoff is pretty much better than the regular season numbers he's had this year, and his career playoff numbers, which have been unbelievable special. And he's locked in, because the one thing I like right now is how he's finishing games, especially how he's finished the last game versus the Denver Nuggets.
Stephanie, coming up in a bit, Steve Smith sits down with Andre Iguodala. I'll chat with both head coaches who are just entering the building. I'll have a one-on-one with Coach Vogel and Coach Spoelstra, and we'll check back in with you live here courtside in Orlando.
Cannot wait. You guys keep it up. Appreciate you so much and all your effort. Okay, Kenny the Jets.